Once upon a time, there lived a man in a small village. Near his house stood a mountain where he went for a morning walk every day. He would spend some time sitting on the mountain and then return home. One day, as usual, he set out early in the morning for his walk. Suddenly, his 4-year-old son ran up behind him, grabbed his hand and said, "Papa, I want to come with you today." The father hesitated and gently tried to dissuade him. "Son, the path I take is steep and narrow. It's not safe for you yet. Once you grow a little older, I'll take you along every day." But the little boy was adamant, refusing to listen. Seeing her husband struggle to convince the child, the wife gave him a knowing look, silently urging him to take the boy along. The father eventually gave in. The moment his son got permission, he jumped with joy and shouted excitedly, "Yay, I'm going with Papa!" As they began climbing the mountain, the father firmly held his son's hand. The trail was narrow and uneven, with jagged stones and steep slopes. On one side loomed the towering mountain, and on the other was a deep gorge. As they reached the top, mist and clouds began to envelop them. Looking down into the gorge, the boy saw a lush green forest stretching far and wide. He was delighted by the beautiful view. He reached out to touch the passing clouds, laughing uncontrollably. While playing, the boy accidentally tripped over a stone and fell. His knee hit a rock, and he cried out in pain, "Ouch!" His scream echoed through the mountains. Startled, the boy paused. He had never heard an echo before. Confused, he looked around, wondering what was happening. It felt as though someone hidden in the mountains was mocking him. Angrily, he shouted, "Who are you?" "Who are you?" To his surprise, his own voice echoed back, repeating his question. This made him even more upset. "Who's making fun of me?" he yelled, his voice now trembling with frustration. The echo responded, "Who's making fun of me?" The boy grew scared. He tightly clutched his father's hand and whispered, "Papa, who's teasing me? Who's trying to scare me?" The father smiled quietly, understanding what was happening. He looked at the gorge and called out in a loud voice, "I love you. I love you. I love you." The boy stood still, astonished as the mountains echoed back. He blinked in surprise, unable to make sense of it. He thought, "The one who was teasing me is now telling Papa, 'I love you.'" Puzzled, he looked at his father, who could see the questions in his son's eyes. The father crouched down, smiled, and said, "Let me show you something." He turned toward the gorge and shouted, "You are amazing!" "You are amazing!" The boy burst into laughter as the echo replied, "Papa, what's happening? Who's doing this?" His father gently explained, "What you're hearing isn't someone else. It's your own voice. The mountains echo back whatever you say. If you yell something angry, the echo will sound angry. But if you say something kind, the echo will be kind too." Life works the same way, son. The way you think and speak about life is exactly how life responds to you. If you keep saying, "My life is terrible," then it will feel terrible. But if you love your life, it will love you back. The boy's eyes lit up as he understood the lesson. The wisdom sank deep into his young heart. As they continued their walk to the mountain's peak, the boy couldn't stop smiling. Suddenly, he spread his arms wide, looked into the valley below, and shouted with joy, "I love you! I love you!" The mountains echoed back warmly, "I love you! I love you!"